What makes a person truly great? Is it wealth, power, fame? Or is it something far deeper, the courage to do what is right, even when it is hard, unpopular, or dangerous? Today, we bring you 10 of powerful ethical moments in history, true stories of mercy, justice, and courage from history. These are stories that changed lives, shaped civilizations, and teach timeless lessons. Welcome to Noble Footsteps, where we explore real historical events that teach wisdom, courage, and ethics. If you want more stories that inspire and guide, tap subscribe, because these lessons from history should never be forgotten. Let's begin. Imagine a ruler so devoted to justice that he walks alone at night among his people, listening to their struggles in secret. This was Umar ibn al-Khattab, a caliph of the Islamic world. He wasn't hidden away in a palace. He was on the streets, feeling the pulse of his community. He refused luxury, insisting that leaders are accountable to the people they serve. He didn't wait for complaints to reach him. He sought them out, personally investigating claims of injustice and correcting wrongs on the spot. He never, ever placed himself above the law. His life wasn't about power. It was about responsibility. He showed the world what leadership should be, rooted in humility, accountability, and unwavering courage. This is ethics in action. Next, we travel to the Battle of Manzikert. The Seljuk Sultan Alp Arslan has just won a world-changing victory and captured his rival, the Byzantine Emperor Romanos IV. In that moment, Alp Arslan held absolute power over his enemy. He could have humiliated, imprisoned, or even executed him, as many rulers would have. But he chose a different path. He chose mercy. He treated the defeated emperor with respect, sat with him. He treated the defeated emperor with respect, sat with him. This wasn't weakness. It was a demonstration of true strength, the strength that lies in restraint and humanity. This single act of grace reshaped the legacy of the Seljuks, teaching a powerful lesson. Justice is most powerful when it's tempered by mercy. Our eighth story is about a woman who had nothing but gave everything. Rabia al-Adawiyya, the renowned mystic of Basra, dedicated her entire life to serving the poor and the needy. People offered her wealth, comfort, and recognition, but she refused it all. She insisted her actions were not for fame or reward, but purely for the good of humanity and out of love for the divine. Her profound humility and selfless compassion became a beacon of light, inspiring generations to look beyond material wealth. She showed that the greatest power isn't found in what you have, but in what you give. Her life proves that ethics and compassion are far greater than any fame or fortune. Now, let's turn to one of history's most famous conflicts. When the great leader Saladin recaptured Jerusalem from the Crusaders, the world held its breath. The city's previous conquest had been a scene of horrific bloodshed. But Saladin did something remarkable. Instead of revenge, he chose mercy. He strictly forbade any violence against civilians, guaranteed their safety, and protected their property. He allowed those who wished to leave to do so peacefully and respected the holy sites of all faiths. Saladin's leadership wasn't just about military strategy. It was about moral character. He proved that even in the midst of war, ethical conduct and compassion can win hearts and build a legacy of peace. Our sixth moment features a man who rose from the lowest station to the highest. Malik Amber, an African who was sold into slavery, eventually became a powerful king in India. In an era where a person's background determined their destiny, he built his army on a revolutionary principle: merit. He didn't care about a soldier's ethnicity, religion, or social status. He cared about their skill, their bravery, and their loyalty. By treating all his soldiers with fairness and rewarding them based on merit alone, he united a diverse group of people into a formidable force. Malik Amber's reign is a powerful testament that true leadership transcends origin and status, building strength through justice and equality. Imagine conquering one of the greatest cities on earth. What do you do next? After Sultan Mehmed II conquered Constantinople, he didn't impose his will through force. Instead, he demonstrated profound ethical foresight. He summoned the Orthodox Christian Patriarch and personally guaranteed that he and his in his moment of ultimate victory, Mehmed II chose to protect human rights and religious freedom. He understood that a truly great civilization is not just built on power, but on respect and tolerance. His actions proved that the strongest rulers are those guided by a moral compass. Long before modern declarations of human rights, a foundational document for ethical governance was written. The Covenant of Umar was a formal treaty that laid out the protections for religious minorities living under Muslim rule. This wasn't just a suggestion. It was law. It guaranteed Christians and Jews safety for themselves, their families, their property, and their places of worship. They were assured the freedom to practice their religion without interference. This covenant was a revolutionary step in governance, codifying fairness and tolerance into law. It stands as a powerful early example of Islamic ethical principles being put into practice for the good of all society. Our third moment shines a light on honor in the heat of battle. The Turkic commander Kudülmekoglu Süleyman, after winning a decisive victory, found himself with thousands of Byzantine prisoners. The custom of the time might have been to enslave or execute them, but Süleyman was a man of honor. He famously ordered the release of every single prisoner, allowing them to return home. He understood that true victory isn't about crushing your enemy. It's about demonstrating superior character. His act of mercy showed that honor and compassion are far more powerful than cruelty and revenge, a timeless lesson that echoes through the centuries. What if a community decided that justice was more important than anything else? Long before the coming of Islam, in the city of Mecca, or the alliance of the virtuous, they made a solemn pledge to stand with the oppressed, to protect the weak against the strong, and to ensure that anyone who was wronged in their city would have their rights restored. This wasn't a law forced by a king. It was a pact born from a shared moral conscience. It proves that the human desire for ethics and justice is timeless and universal, transcending any single era or creed. For our final and most powerful moment, we look to the legendary emperor of Mali, Mansa Musa, one of the wealthiest men in history, but his true wealth was in his wisdom. Mansa Musa established a justice council and appointed judges who had the authority to pass judgment on anyone in the empire, including himself. He made it clear that no one, not even the emperor, was above the law. By willingly submitting himself to the same rules as his people, he taught a profound lesson. True power isn't about dominance, it's about accountability. Justice, fairness, and the rule of law are the ultimate markers of a great and noble leader. These 10 moments prove one thing: ethics, courage, and justice are timeless. From caliphs to kings, from mystics to commanders, history remembers not just the strong, but the rightful. If these stories inspired you, comment below, ethics over power, and follow noble footsteps for more real stories of courage, integrity, and leadership from history.